beef fat. I'm gonna get my meat grinder out, clean it up, and get a nice grind on it. Where there's a will, there's a way. I'm gonna go with plan B and use my food chopper. My meat grinder did not like the fat. So I'm gonna try to rough chop it in here and just get it into some smaller pieces. We'll see how it goes. It works. So I'm gonna keep doing this. Hopefully I can get more in it because I've got a lot to get through. So this is what it looks like after I've been grinding it in the chopper. It's taking a little bit longer than I thought, but I'm going to go ahead and turn this roaster on. I'm gonna put it on 200 and I'm just gonna keep adding fat to this. After about 6 hours, I strained it into a clean pot through a tea towel, and then what was left, I put in the fridge overnight. It is day 2 of tallow rendering. So yesterday I ran it through the roaster and then we strained it with a tea towel. I don't use cheesecloth anymore. I strain everything through tea towels. So this is what we're working with. As you can see, it looks, ooh, it's really hard. Okay, it's pretty firm. I'm going to scrape the top of it into another stock pot, and then I'm gonna cook it on the stove with some water. Not a lot. I'm trying to get to this, the gelatinousy stuff on the bottom. That you want to remove. So I'm hoping, haha, look at that. Do you see that huge layer of gelatinous stuff? I'm going to scrape that off. If it's not perfect, that's okay. Because that was just the first render. I'm gonna do this more than once. I can break it. Look at that. So we're gonna put that into the pot. There was a chunk still in here. We're gonna clean this off. Into the pot. Wash me. So I'm gonna put this on the stove. I'm gonna start it on low, like 2 or 3. And I'm gonna add like half a quart to a quart of water. I'm gonna pop a lid on it and I'll check back on this in a little bit. Okay, so I boiled this for about 20 to 30 minutes. I'm going to pop a lid on it and put it in the fridge and check back on it again tomorrow. It is the 3rd day of cleaning and washing the tallow. So this is just out of the fridge. Oh, it's sliding out, which is what we want. Okay, I'm gonna try to recreate that. Maybe over the sink. Okay. So, I got a nice solid disc. I'm going to scrape all this impurity off. I'm going to put it in a clean pot on the stove with like a quart of water to wash it again. I'm like medium heat, like 2 cups of water. One cup of water. This is day 4 of rendering the tallow, the last and final day. So I got it out of the fridge and I popped that disc of fat out. And again, I just did a really good scrape on the bottom, getting all of the impurities off of it. And once all of the impurities are scraped off, it goes into a clean pot on the stove with no water today.
Is it all beef fat that I've been cleaning for today?
I scraped extra off today just to make sure that there were absolutely no impurities in this tallow block,
in the oil or in the fat,
because this was the last day I was going to cook it.
And
It's going to boil on the stove for hours. It's actually pretty sketchy because once it stops boiling, it starts to pop. You want to make sure that all of the foaming bubbles and all of the popping bubbles are done before you take it off the stove. Once it is absolutely done bubbling, you can pull it off the stove, and I ladled mine into very clean, dry jars. I left about an inch of headspace in each one, and then at the end I put clean, dry lids and rings on. It self-sealed because of how hot it was, and it will be shelf stable because I boiled all of that water out of it. And here's a quick look at the finished product after they've cooled and hardened. Aren't they beautiful? Here's a quick look at the finished product after it had cooled and hardened. Perfect for frying or making body creams or scrubs.